Global oil prices have surged after US President Donald Trump announced a naval blockade targeting Iran.
10 o'clock tomorrow, we have a blockade going into effect. That'll be 10 o'clock tomorrow. Other nations are working so that Iran will not be able to sell oil.
Brent crude, which is the international oil benchmark, jumped more than 8% on Sunday, climbing above $103 a barrel. It marks another sharp swing in energy markets as tensions escalate around the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical shipping routes for oil and gas. The spike followed Trump's announcement that the US Navy would block ships from entering or leaving Iranian ports after ceasefire talks between Washington and Tehran collapsed. These negotiations had taken place over the weekend in Islamabad, where US and Iranian officials spent more than 20 hours trying to reach an agreement. But the talks ended without a deal, with both sides blaming each other for the breakdown.
We have been at it now for 21 hours, and we've had a number of substantive discussions with the Iranians. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement. And I think that's bad news for Iran much more than it's bad news for the United States of America.
Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said negotiators had been close to memorandum of understanding before US demands shifted. Iran's Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf also accused Washington of failing to build trust with the Iranian delegations. Shortly after Trump's announcement, the US Central Command clarified the scope of the blockade, saying American forces would target ships traveling to and from Iran, while allowing other vessels to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. The measure is set to take effect on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Developments are rattling global markets because the Strait of Hormuz carries roughly one-fifth of world's oil and natural gas supplies. Energy markets have already been volatile since US and Israeli strikes on Iran triggered weeks of confrontation in the Gulf. Tehran responded by imposing a de facto blockade of the strait, sharply reducing shipping traffic. Despite a fragile 2-week ceasefire currently in place, maritime activity remains far below normal levels. According to maritime intelligence firm Windward, only 17 vessels crossed the strait on Saturday, compared with 130 daily crossings before the conflict began. Inside Iran, official and hardline lawmakers say the negotiating team refused to compromise on what they call the country's red lines, including maintaining uranium enrichment and control over navigation through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's Revolutionary Guard has also warned that the foreign military ships approaching the waterway could face retaliation. The rising tensions are already affecting financial markets. Stock exchanges across Asia opened lower on Monday. Japan's Nikkei 225 dropped nearly 1%, while South Korea's KOSPI fell by more than 1%. US stock futures also slipped, signaling investor concern about the potential economic impact of a prolonged standoff in the Gulf. For now, energy traders and global markets are watching closely because any sustained disruption in the Strait of Hormuz could send shockwaves through the world economy.